is available not in Antigua or based on Antigua's standards, but the standards in the first world, then we must find a way of making the commitment. We must decide that we will not accept mediocrity. Excellence must be the hallmark of every worker in the healthcare system. And as the minister, I will say boldly and frankly that I will not accept anything less. And I want to make it clear, this is not bravado. You know what this is? This is the Minister of Health on a daily basis who has to encounter a mother with a child who is not working but needs diagnostic treatment at the hospital, has no money. And when she goes and she tries to get registered, she's been told, we cannot register you before you come up with the $1,000 for registration. I have to deal with a young lady, 17 years old, who is pregnant and is about to deliver the baby, 2 weeks away from delivering a baby. Goes to Mount St. John. The appointment for her delivery already set. She went to get a checkup and she was to be admitted, but being told we cannot admit you before you make your deposit. And I asked the question, what is this young lady to do? Well, the answer was not difficult for me. I just got on the telephone and I demanded that the opportunities be put in place for that young woman to deliver her baby. Some people call it micromanagement. But if micromanagement is saving a life, if micromanagement is opening up the opportunity for a young woman to have a safe delivery rather than to have a delivery at home, well, count me in. This afternoon, I am very pleased. And Mr. Prime Minister, I'm humbled by your comments. Your commendation to me is accepted with humility. But I also have to recognize that it is not only about Maureen Joseph. It is about a Prime Minister that has exhibited firm leadership, visionary leadership. And my colleagues who sit around the table probably every week, and when I make my presentation, I get full support. So I want to thank my colleagues, thank the Prime Minister for his leadership. This facility, the Cedar Grove Clinic and Creche, cost the government through the medical benefits so far $1.8 million and counting. The representative of the constituency was quite right when he said that he exerted a certain amount of pressures to get this clinic open sooner. I was attacked as the Minister of Health on the radio. What is the minister doing opening up this clinic? And I said to myself, they really do not understand how I operate, because I don't believe in soft openings. If the opening is not firm, it's not going to happen. There was a soft opening of the public library. It is still soft. And so I want to recognize the people who planned this event and to emphasize this is the new paradigm. This is the way we're going to do things in the government and certainly in the Ministry of Health. This opening involved the permanent secretary, the superintendent of public health nurses and the deputy, the chief pharmacist of Antigua and Barbuda, other members of staff, and representative from the constituency itself. That was the committee. And I put that committee not by chance, because from the inception of this clinic, the superintendent of public health nurses was not involved. And I said, how could you have the head of the clinics in Antigua and Barbuda and she is not involved in the planning? And so you have to agree. And you will see when we go inside this building, the planning, the care that was exercised in preparing the clinic and the crush. So I want to thank the committee, and I want to thank the members of this community. Now, you would be pleased, and the people of Cedar would be pleased to know that this clinic is the best equipped clinic in the state of Antigua and Barbuda. This represents the prototype of all that is to come. If there is any change, it would only be because the others are better, no less than the standard you see today. And so the Ministry of Health and Environment recently formulated the National Strategic Plan of Health for 2016 to 2020 and clearly states the vision of this government as the mandate of the Ministry of Health. Attainment of optimal health and wellness for all residents of Antigua and Barbuda. I want you to listen to the words clearly. Attainment of optimal health and wellness for all residents of Antigua and Barbuda. I'm going to curtail my speech, but it will be available to the public. But what this emphasizes is that we are taking a different approach to healthcare in Antigua and Barbuda. The issue of wellness must be on a parallel track with the issue of curing diseases, which means that significant sums of money will be invested in ensuring that people's behavior, the citizens of this country, reflects an understanding that it is far less costly to stay well than to have behaviors that result in diseases. Never before has there been such a firm commitment to this parallel approach to health. I remember that I went to Fiji in the Pacific, and I was honored to have been chosen to represent the OECS Ministers of Health in Fiji. And I witnessed in Fiji the emphasis that is placed on wellness. They start in the schools, in the primary schools. And eating right, exercising, was part of the curriculum of the primary school. I witnessed the marvelous demonstration of what I call progressive healthcare right before my eyes, when the teacher was before the class and she actually told the students, show me what is the right portion for you to eat. And then what are the foods that you would select to eat? Now these are things that are very fundamental, and they might appear not to be important. But if you get a child at the early stages of his or her life to learn to exercise, eat right, you will find that child as an adult will be not only a healthier child, but a child that would be perhaps perform better in school, a child that could assist the adults, because I remember one case where the teacher said that one of the children went home and saw the parent eating the wrong food. And the child said, "Mommy, my teacher said you're not supposed to eat that." Maybe that we should have our children coach the parents from time to time. But we have, in Antigua and Barbuda, need to recognize that wellness or health is not